Are we ready? Are we ready to have a real grown folk conversation tonight? This is a real grown folk conversation. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to probably go DEFCON red. This is a DEFCON red. And you know, I'm not given to hyperbole, but we're gonna play the intro and then we're gonna start having a grown folk conversation. Here we go, guys. So I know this probably threw a little bit of you guys off because I put July 5th down there, 2022. That's when this thing fires up. So, hi, my name is Dr. Lisa Brewer. I am a doctor of metaphysics and I can't really say physiology, metaphysics and divinity. And this is Heart of Inspiration. Here at this channel, we help you lead a whole and healed, peaceful, and prosperous life. I'm going to speak to my peeps. Hello, Melinda. How are you, lovey? How are you? Hey, Desiree. How are you doing, honey? Hello, Ashley. Hello. Hello, Melissa. Hello. Who else is talking to me tonight? Hey, Lady D. Hey, Just Be Real. How's it going? Kay, how are you, honey? Serenely Kay, hello. Hello, Diva Glam 10. I want you all, matter of fact, let me let some of my peeps know that we are alive because I feel like they might not know. I'm going to, oops, yep, that's right. Let me, in the stream, I'm going to create a quick post. I hate that it doesn't let me do that. Let me go over here. Create a post. All right, so hopefully people will see this. I'm gonna post it on my community page. Hopefully they see it. Anybody that you all know that would be interested in this conversation, please let them know we're live. We're going to be diving deep into it, and I will be bringing people up. Okay. Hello, Purple Couch. How are you, honey? Greetings, Shakima. Hello, dear. Hello. Hello. So let everybody know that we're here because this is, I know we talk about a lot of different stuff on the YouTubes, right? Yes, I said the YouTubes. We talk about pop culture, we talk about, you know, new music and actors and politics and all sorts of things. We talk about spiritual things. I really want to have this discussion because this is the convergence of so much. And I feel like we don't get into this enough. We don't talk about this kind of stuff enough. And these things happen, y'all, and we're not paying attention. So I am going to first kind of give you, does everybody know what CERN is? What I'm talking about, CERN, the LHC. Okay. And we're going to go to Wiki. I'm not always, Wikipedia. We're going to go to the Wikipedias. Wikipedia isn't always the most reliable, but we're going to use them today because I need to share some stuff with y'all. I need to give you a background of what I'm talking about. In Geneva, Switzerland, there is this what they call a Large Hadron Collider. A Large Hadron Collider, the LHC. It's in CERN, which is a suburb, excuse me, of Geneva, Switzerland. Now, hopefully, most of you have heard of Geneva, Switzerland. There's these things called like the Geneva Convention, right? Where all of the countries of the world after World War, I think it was World War I, if I'm not mistaken, came together and decided there were rules on how you could treat prisoners of war and things of that nature. And that was the Geneva Convention. Switzerland, as you know, is a neutral country. Basically, the only thing that matters, the only thing that's not fair for me to say, but I'm gonna say it like this. It's also like the banking, right? It's a banking hub. If you, you can have Swiss bank accounts and they're secret. They're less secret now than they used to be, but they used to be extremely secret, completely numbered only. No country could come in and decide they wanted to know nothing about your Swiss bank account, child. Like if you had a Swiss bank account back in the day, baby, it was secured. Okay, it was secure. Your money was there, couldn't nobody touch it. It's less secure now. But Switzerland is definitely a financial capital, mecca of the world. Any of my Game of Thrones fans, it would be like the Iron Bank. Okay. They really did not, the Iron Bank in Game of Thrones didn't care what side of the warring factions, which of the 7 kingdoms and the 7 thrones and whoever else outside of it was coming. As long as they felt like their money was secured, they were going to finance your war, child. And a lot of Swiss bank accounts have financed wars. They financed other tomfoolery. They financed a whole lot of things. So right outside of Geneva in Switzerland is CERN. And CERN is the home of this Large Hadron Collider. The Large Hadron Collider, LHC, is the world's largest and highest energy particle collider. A collider is a type of particle accelerator which brings 2 opposing particle beams together such that the particles collide. You might hear some booms going off. Of course, it's the 4th of July weekend, so my neighbors are all shooting off fireworks. Colliders may either be ring accelerators or linear accelerators. Now, let me bounce back to y'all for a second because I'm going to be bouncing back and forth. CERN is a ring accelerator as far as I remember. And hey, chronically ill, I knew you was gonna be here, child. I knew you was gonna be here. Linear colliders are the type that, have you all heard me or heard other people refer to the double slit experiment? Have you all heard me or anyone else refer to the double slit experiment? If you have not, before we get done, I'm going to put a link to a free quantum life bundle that I put together for a specific summit, the Week Kindness Summit, but I'm really feeling like I need to let you all have access to this because I do go into the double slit experiment. The double slit experiment is how we know, it was kind of the birth of quantum physics. I might be able to find that YouTube video and we'll play it here. The double slit experiment basically told us from that collider, okay, from that accelerator, that particles have both wave and particle, subatomic particles have both wave and particle properties. When you are not paying attention to a particle, it acts like a wave. Okay, it has wave properties. It moves. It has a frequency. We talk about this a lot. If you've ever, me and other people, I'm not the only one. So everything moves. Everything has a frequency. Everything is always vibrating. Even things that we sense from our perception are solid are actually in motion, if you could see it on a subatomic level. But when we put our attention towards it, it stops moving. It behaves as a particle. Okay? So this is the first kind of, accelerating subatomic particles at a high speed, what that did. Okay? So now there are rings and there are others, right? Rings and others. Did I say that in time with the booms? They were hinting the quantum physics in Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. Exactly. Subatomic, there is a quantum realm. Now, I talked to you all about it from an esoteric perspective, but there is a quantum realm. There's space outside of space, within space, around space. Even rocks, everything is in motion. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Everything is in motion. Okay, let's get back to our science discussion for the evening. It was built by the European Organization for Nuclear Research, known as CERN. This is why it's called that. It is a European research organization that operates the largest particle physics laboratory in the world. It was established all the way back in 1954. So I'm sorry, it's not in CERN, Switzerland. CERN is the European Research Organization. The organization is based in a northwest suburb of Geneva on the Franco or French-Swiss border. So this LHC was built between 1998 and 2008 in collaboration with over 10,000 scientists and hundreds of universities and laboratories, as well as more than 100 countries. It lies in a tunnel 27 kilometers or 17 miles in circumference and as deep as 175 meters or 574 feet beneath the France-Switzerland border near Geneva. Now, I want to do something. I'm going to clue you guys in on a little something. Let me go over here. I'm going to stop sharing this. Now, we saw that it was 27, what did it tell us? 27 kilometers. So 2 plus 7 is what, 9? I want us to pay attention to the numerology of everything, of everything, of everything. We are not going to miss not one piece of the puzzle as we're unfolding this. This is very important. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more why it's important. 2 plus 7 is 9. What number in numerology is 9? 9 is the number of self-completion, self-actualization. I'm about to enter into a 9 year. I'm about to be 54, right? That's a year. This whole next year is my 9 year. Okay, of self-actualization, self-completion, dreams come into reality, right? Abundance grows in every area of your life. You begin to actualize and realize your dreams, your empowerment, your being. Okay, your very essence. 9 is a very powerful number. 9 is kind of like mankind or a human, our individual completion of our cycle, not the overall 10 cycle. We're going to get to the 10 in a minute, but the individual self-actualization and realization of who we are. 17 miles, 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 is the number of infinity. I'm just going to put it like that. 8 is a master number. It is a number of infinity. 2 times 4, life path numbers. It is a quantum number. In circumference. So this thing is, it is all at the same time a mankind, a human self-actualization and into infinity circle. 1 plus 7 equals 8 plus 5 equals 13. 1 plus 3 equals 4. What is 4? 4 is you're on your life path, right? 4 is 1111. 4 is a manifestation number. 4 of swords is peace. 4 of pentacles is like, we're kind of going within and we're doing our thing within. 4 of cups is very thoughtful. 4 of wands in the tarot that's like the marriage number, right? Whenever we get the 4 of wands, life path, the 1111, it is in of itself almost a God number in and of itself. And 5 plus 7 is 12. Plus 4 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. That is the divine number. So here we have a man number 4 and a divine number 7. Even if we add those together, we get 11. Everything, now I haven't even got but through the first goddamn paragraph, and I've shown you already that they have created something with the perfect dimensions, both in metric and in English measurements, that sets man up as supreme God. I talk a lot about us being God. I talk a lot about us being an aspect of divinity, source, but none of us think that we are supreme. I don't think any of us here doing any of y'all in this room think that y'all supreme God. You probably need to set up a time and we need to talk. But none of us think in our humanity that we are supreme God. We don't. We don't. Okay? Now, that being said, these individuals over in Europe, or this group of people, set something up already by the numerology, and I've just got through the first paragraph, that sets this up for man to tap into infinity and into the God realm. Let's continue. The first collisions were achieved in 2010 at an energy of blah, 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 3.5 tera electron volts per beam, about 4 times the previous world record. They're trying to set these records. After upgrades, it reached 6.5 TeV per beam, 13 TeV total collision energy, the present world record. And at the end of 2018, it was shut down for 3 years for further upgrades. There are 4 crossing paths where accelerated particles collide. 7 detectors. Do we see a pattern here? Each designed to detect different phenomena are positioned around the crossing points. It primarily collides photon beams, but it can also accelerate beams of heavy ions, lead to lead collisions, and proton to lead collisions, which are typically performed for 1 month a year. Now, this is what happened at the 2012, July 4th, 2012. LHC's goal is to allow physicists to test the predictions of different theories of particle physics, aka quantum physics, the nature of particles that constitute matter and radiation, including measuring the properties of the Higgs boson. Sometimes called the Higgs particle, is an elementary particle of the standard model of particle physics produced by the quantum excitation of the Higgs field, one of the fields in particle physics theory. Why is this important? Because this was searching for supersymmetric theories and the result questions of particle. That happened in 2012. That happened in 2012. The reason why that is important, beloved, the Higgs boson particle theory, what have you, is what's called by physicists the God particle. Higgs boson is what takes subatomic and atomic particles and binds them, subatomic particles, and binds them together, creating mass. They couldn't figure out how mass was created because in theory, you have all these photons, which are light particles, particles of light, right? You have neutrons, which are neutral, and electrons, right? Which are electricity pieces, particles. They couldn't figure out how in the heck all these things came together to make atoms, and then atoms, well, the electrons go, they orbit the photon and neutron combination. But they couldn't figure out how in the world they could come together in the first place. They knew that there were massive collisions that occurred, right? The Big Bang Theory, whatnot, right? They knew that these massive cosmic collisions happened, but they couldn't figure out how those cosmic collisions could result in matter being the byproduct. Well, when they discovered this Higgs boson situation, energy, they called it the God particle because now they understood. Now they could say, oh, this is what creates matter. It is very imperative that you understand that this happened in 2012. If you've been in the spiritual community at all, or if you've watched, a multitude of different movies or heard anything about the Mayans, right? The Mayan calendar ended when? December of 2012. Now, I want to share with you something. They made this discovery in July of 2012. In light of the July 2012 discovery of Higgs boson, the shutdown was postponed for some weeks into early 2013 to allow additional data to be obtained before shutdown. So they ran this from July 2012 through December or early January 2013. Guys, I'm going to play a little astrology with you right now. What happens every year between in July 2012 and then again in December, January every July, June, July, and every December, January? You have the Cancer new moon in July, the Capricorn full moon. Then you have the Capricorn new moon in December-ish, and then the Capricorn full moon, new moon, and the Cancer full moon in late December, early January. Why is that important? The Cancerian Capricornian axis is the axis, potentially, theoretically, of creation. It is when mother conceives, right? It is when emotion starts. Cancer's cardinal water, cardinal spirit. And then in Capricorn, the ground rests to prepare itself to begin to bring forth what? New life. Think about this. If you conceive in July, August, September, October, November, December, you are at 6 months if you were pregnant. December, you're 6 months. And anybody who's been pregnant knows at that 6 month period, boy, you got full blown, like you just, you got a baby, right? Anytime after 6 months, that child can survive outside the womb after about 6.5 to 7. But this is the time during that last trimester, there's a lot of gathering of strength, of empowerment. There's a lot of development of this is all channel. I didn't even think about this, child, before we even got started. So this is good. Y'all want to take some notes here. Now, listen, at that 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, your lungs are developing. Your organs are further developing. You're becoming capable of, or you will, your reproductive organ, everything is beginning to fully develop. I mean, we've been developing all the way, but that last trimester, the baby puts on weight. Mom's got to rest a lot more because there's a lot going on. And anytime after that 6 month, as you get to the 7th month and so on, the child is more able to potentially, it has developed enough where it could burst out, be born at any time and survive. Might be tough, but it could survive. So now we're at December, January, February, March is 9 months. What happens at the end of March? Aries season. What happens in Aries season? What is Aries season? What starts Aries season? The spring, right? The spring solstice or equinox. Solstice. Equinox. Sorry. Spring equinox. Springtime, time for birth. Anytime after month 9, right into month 10, because you're really 10 months pregnant. But anytime during Aries season, that's when we start seeing seedlings pop up. So we've conceived in in July. We're really like getting ready for birth by December. And then what happens in April? We have life. So if you plant something now, come on, somebody. If you start a cycle now is the time. If you want to birth something in the spirit realm and in the esoteric, you better know the times and know the seasons, because this is the time. And this is the season to conceive. And if you don't think that they, being the people that are messing around with stuff they probably shouldn't be, but they good and gosh darn know damn well what they're doing. We've been asleep. We've been asleep. We've been lulled to sleep by religion, primarily Christianity. We've been lulled to sleep in Judaism. Lulled to sleep. Because we've been told, don't pay attention to numerology. Don't pay attention to astrology. Don't pay attention to the ancient ways. It's all demonic. Oh, no, it ain't all demonic, my babies. It's not all demonic. That's where the damn power is. That's where all the information is. See, these people been playing by those rules. They understood the rules of the game. And we've been so busy trying to be holy, 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 and trying to make it to heaven. I did not know this was going to go this way. Make it to heaven someday in a sweet by and walk on streets of gold and living in mansions, that we've been asleep at the wheel while they've been messing with the universe and messing with the dimensions and messing with our lives and messing with the frequencies. They've been playing by the rules that were set up here by those that created us. and created this earth and instituted the grids in Gaia, in the earth, and the crystalline grid up here. They have been playing by these rules and regulations. They knew what they were doing the whole time. Why do you think? Let me go. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. I'm going somewhere now. Hang on, darlings. All right. Let me get back to where I needed to go. Let me get back to where I needed to go. Let me get back to where I needed to go. So at July, where is it? That ain't it. In July, right? What they did, July of 2012, what they did was they found the God creation particle. Now, there are some that will say, and I'm sure you've seen these on TikTok and I'm seeing them elsewhere. There are some that believe that really the earth did end. Like they effed everything up so badly, it shifted us into a parallel universe in July of 2012. And it was cemented by December of 2012. They couldn't finish shutting it down until after Capricorn season was over. Okay? And that what that ended up doing is shifting us into a whole different parallel universe. For a lot of us, if you go back to 2012, there was a huge awakening. That's when a lot of people would say current spirituality and New Age, if you will, was born. Certainly current intuitive astrology. There was a renaissance of the old ways. There was a renaissance. That was the beginning of the renaissance of us tapping into the old technologies. And by the old ways, I mean the things they call magic with a K. Kemetic technology, Babylonian, Sumerian, Incan, Celtic, Norse. You notice I don't throw the Greek stuff in there? Because I feel like the Greeks and the Romans just stole everything anyway. No offense to anybody that's Greek or Roman. But there's really no originality. So I gotta leave that alone. In the ancient practices of the Orisha, the Oshun, the Yorubas, yes? Yorubas, excuse me. In voodoo, hoodoo, santeria, in all of these different magics and spiritualities were based in ancient history and ancient religion and ancient spirituality, and the traditions were brought forward. All of the native indigenous here in North and Central America and South America, right? Shamanism, all of these things got overshadowed with Christianity. Now, 2012 brought on a resurrection of all of these ancient technologies, and people began to wake up. Why? Because our consciousness got shift. What is it? Sufism. Thank you very much. Yes. All of these technologies, excuse me, there was this resurrection, because what I do believe now as I'm looking at this was a shift in the timeline. But when you find the God consciousness, then the God people are going to wake up. When you find the God consciousness, the God people are going to wake up, along with those that said we can use this for what? Ill gain. So there was definitely a shift in the timeline. We see these things on a regular basis, actually. We see these things if you go back and you look at any of these reels or TikToks where they're like, hey, this used to look like this, and notice it's now spelled like this. This used to be here, and did you notice it's here? History has all of a sudden changed. And now it's at a rapid rate that they're arbitrarily just changing shit. I just saw TikTok, and I'm going to do some more studying on this. I just saw there's a gentleman on TikTok that's talking about the fact that where the where the Bible says the Euphrates River and all of this was, in other words, the land where Israel is supposed to be, ain't where it is at. And then it caused me to remember. I said, wait a minute. I clearly remember as a child in the 70s being taught that the Euphrates River was in Africa. When the hell did it move over to the Middle East? I want somebody to tell me when the hell that moved. Because I always knew it was in Africa. I didn't know people were making mess where the damn thing was over there in the Middle East. How you move a whole river? Because you have to justify the fact. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. You got to justify the fact of how you set this monkey mess up. Okay, let me get back to CERN, because I done gone on all kinds of rabbit trails tonight. Let me get back to CERN. There was a shift in the timeline, a rift, parallel universes. Things were moved around and shaken up in 2012. Things were moved around and shaken up in 2012. Now, beloveds, we are here in 2022. Let me tell you what these mother truckers is trying to do now. Let me show you what these people is trying to do now. Scientists prepare CERN Collider restart in hunt for dark matter. Yes, you read that right. Scientists at Europe's Physics Research Center will this week fire up the 16 round. Now, see, they lied to you. They lied right here. I just read to you. I literally just read to you, and I can go on numerous pages and find where it says 17 miles. It makes a difference numerologically if it's 16 and 27 or 17 and 27. Makes a difference. Why you lying about something so damn simple? Large Hadron Collider, the machine found the Higgs boson particle after a shutdown for maintenance and upgrades that was prolonged by COVID-19 delays. That's the only thing I'm gonna thank you for the coof. Okay. Restarting the collider is a complex procedure, and researchers at the CERN Center have champagne on hand if all goes well. It's not flipping a button and blah, blah, blah. This comes with a certain sense of tension and nervousness. Potential pitfalls include the discovery of an obstruction, the shrinking of materials due to a nearly 300-degree temperature swing, and difficulties with thousands of magnets that keep billions of particles in a tight beam as they circle the collider underneath the tunnel beneath. I'm going to tell you about this, man. Physicists hope the resumption of collisions will help their quest for so-called dark matter that lies beyond the visible universe. Dark matter is thought to be 5 times more prevalent than ordinary matter, but does not absorb, reflect, or emit light. What else doesn't absorb, reflect, or emit light? A black hole. Thank you for full accuracy. Yes, I understand. But we never round down. I mean, maybe in this new math we do, because they're changing math too. So maybe in new math, when it's over 0.5, we round down. They're gonna stop playing with me. Right. So people won't connect it that right. Yes, they're messing with the universe. Absolutely. No, you're not tripping. You're not tripping. You're not tripping. So these fools, hey tarot guy, by the way, how you doing? Hey Shiny. These fools, oops. These fools is running around here messing around, and they could potentially create a whole black hole that would suck in the entire earth. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. Hold on. I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna need some help here. I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna need some help here. I'm gonna need some help. Let me export a little bit so y'all can understand what I'm trying to say here. 'Cause I need y'all to understand really what I'm trying to say here. I need y'all to understand. These fools is running around here. Oh, stop. Cancel. Close. New. These fools is running around here. This is what they doing. 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 They is running around here, and they are opening up black holes. Why would you do that? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't understand. Why would you do that? And they don't know. Now there is a 15-page document. There's a 15-page document that they have. It's online. We can find it in a minute if you want to. I'm more than happy to do so. I'm more than happy to do so. That they feel like they have a way to keep things safe. I don't understand. I need somebody to explain to me how was this a good idea? Who came up with this idea? Who came up with this idea? They are open. We're going to get to the portal part. Full restart. Absolutely, this is why the Federation is watching. Absolutely. They can't play God, but have y'all been paying attention to the AI? Have y'all been paying attention to how human-like these robots are operating? Have y'all been paying attention to the Google man that just got fired because he realized that the AI was alive and sentient and came out and said it was, and they fired that whole engineer? Well, okay, here we go, tarot guy. Thank you. A black hole sucks in everything, including light, because of immense gravitational pull. Absolutely. This, however, means technically absorbs light. It's a little sideways logic. Yes, I understand. I feel like, though, when you start looking, I completely agree with you. But when you start looking for dark matter, and you have, and you are generating an energy field, you don't know what in God's name is what's going to happen as a result. Well, yeah, we know about this going nowhere. Star Trek is real. Here we go. To be honest, they've said it opens up a stable portal. Oh, so they've opened it. I'm going to open up. Hold on. Let me let y'all up here because y'all got some real good information. Here we go. Let's just go on and open it up. Let's just go on and open it up. Because I think I need to talk to y'all. Pin this message. Okay. Let's go and open up. They have said it opens up a stable portal. They've apparently only been able to open up particle-sized portals, but want to make it bigger. Okay. So, okay, MP, they're controlled by demons. It's satanic. I'm not sure what to do with the Satan thing yet. And I'll tell you why. I heard it's going to be okay. Worse than iRobot. Worse than iRobot. No problem. I opened it up, guys. The panel is open. You guys can go on and click the link. I put the link in the chat. I pinned it to the top. We're going to continue to have this conversation. Yes, baby. Yes, they say it's going to be safe. There's a 15-page. Where's Kenzie, baby? There's a 15-page document that says they know what the hell they're doing. They might know what the hell they're doing. They might. And I'm not saying that they don't. Yeah. But what I am saying is this. They found Higgs boson or Higgs boson, whatever, back in 2012. Can we look at what's happened in the last 10 years? I got to circle back to 10 years. That was open July 4th, 2012. I've heard a lot of people, I've been watching different YouTube channels and stuff, and there are some very knowledgeable and very wonderful people that are talking about, oh, well, this is happening again on July 4th. No, it's not. It is happening on July 5th. Welcome to the platform, Chocolate Earth. Welcome to the platform.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm gonna just finish this and then we can start talking.
All right.
There's a number of very wonderful spiritual people that have been discussing this, and they're saying, oh, it's happening on July 4th. No, it's not. It's happening on July 5th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason why it needs to happen on July 5th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, is that is the full completion of the 10-year cycle. Remember, I said 9 is a personal man cycle completion. 10 is the cosmic or energetic cycle completion. So by the time the full 10-year cycle is over, they will have exhausted whatever they felt they wanted to do, and they are ready to start what the new cycle of what the dark matter. And if they open up this damn portal, they don't know what they're letting in. Or maybe they do. What you got to say, baby?
Listen, listen here. I was sitting here thinking about. I was clapping and yelling at the TV. My brother was laughing at me because he was like, she can't see you. Listen, I'm telling you. I've always been into it because, they've always been trying to say the world has gone in. I remember when they used the Mayan calendar to
Mm-hmm.
kind of scare everybody into some way of like prepping for what was going to happen. It was going to be horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But, I believe, and I thank you for having this conversation because they will make a situation they can survive all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They will create something to cause chaos
Mm-hmm.
so that they say they can come back and say they survived it.
Mm-hmm.
And the same things that they have been using to say that the majority, usually women, are crazy because of an understanding of the earth and the universe and so on and so forth. And they're using that same logic to decide it's the best time to open up a portal, a black hole. They trying to bring the dinosaurs back. What we doing here? They are
Well,
trying to find their way. It's like and I'm gonna only use this as the my one religious moment, and that is that ladder to heaven. They've been trying to figure out so much who is in charge of it all because they know that they're not.
mm-hmm. I'm going to give a little pushback and
Okay.
say I think they know who. Matter of fact, I
Yeah.
know they know who, and I
Okay.
believe they know who and what they're attempting to let through that
I
portal.
got you. I got you. Okay. I can get
Nothing
into
happens
that.
around here without a and
I
nothing happens.
mean, yeah, true.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens outside of it's all calculated. It's all orchestrated. They know that we have right now, people talk about Area 51 and blah 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 blah.
Right.
It's real. Not only is Area 51
Oh, I believe
real,
that. I
I have
believe that.
spoken to people that have worked there.
Oh, wow.
And whilst they can't, I'm not going to divulge information and they couldn't
Of course.
divulge too much information. It was enough that we do have alien technology and we've had it for decades.
Mhm. Mhm.
There was alien technology in Germany during World War II that
Right.
was then brought here. This is why we brought all those German scientists here to America.
Mhm.
Go look it up, y'all. If y'all don't believe me, go look it up.
You make a great point because I think about the origins of NASA. They used to be under they dealt nothing but with what was going on under the sea. And then the next thing we know, they done swapped it. Now they've been trying to get off the earth for how many
Supposedly.
years?
Well, they've
Right.
been off
Right.
the earth.
Yeah.
But, but,
Mm.
uh, also though, and I'm going to start putting up some more of these things. Um, Not only that, people laughed at 45 when he created Space Force. Do you think he created Space Force for no freaking reason at all?
I think it was created, but I don't think he was supposed to tell us. I think that's why they
And that's
didn't take it
exactly why
seriously.
he told us
Yeah.
because he wasn't supposed to.
Right.
He
Right.
told us because he wanted us to know. Listen, these mother truckers, we need a Space Force. We need a Star Trek, right? We need a Star Trek because we got Star Trek, Star Wars, all kinds of stuff going. People don't think that stuff. Listen, I don't care what you want to call them. You can call them the Illuminati. You can call them whatever. You can call them Satan.
Right.
You can call them whatever. They have to tell us. They have to put out what's going to happen and what they're doing. And people will say to me, why? Because
Yeah.
nothing can happen in this earth until a human
Right.
being declares it so.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is why it infuriates me that we don't exercise our power of our own autonomy, free will, and energy. Be- we give it away to governments and we give it away
Right.
to people and organizations all the time. We just hand it over.
I was just saying this to my sister. Like, we give so much information. We are led blindly, and we are taught to lead blindly. I think about what you're taught in school. You're taught at a very young age to listen to those who are in authority. Don't
Mhm,
question what's going on.
mhm.
Trust what I tell you and not look any deeper.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And you are out of your mind if you try to do it. They want to take you out, they want to fire you, they want to find you, they want to threaten you if you're talking too much.
Mhm.
And now technology, the same technology that they thought was going to do more damage or go after certain types of people, it has given us the ability to be more open with the knowledge that we share. Like minded people connecting miles and
Yes.
hundreds of miles away.
That was a side effect they weren't anticipating when they shut
Exactly.
us down in 2020, especially. They
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
thought that we were all just gonna kind of go within. They were
Right.
not, but they shut it down. They shut us in at the by the end of 2019. Just to just be personally, I will tell you that my spiritual business had grown. My spiritual awakening had like
Right.
fully come on. I was going all around the country. There are a lot of us that were going around. We were beginning to bloom and blossom and
Mhm.
have a lot of in-person events and really make some serious impact. And then there are those of us that kind of do, I'd like to call them like higher missions or whatever, but we
Gotcha.
do things like grid work, Gaia grid work, crystalline grid work, all these things, and we were gathering together. And when you can gather two of us together in a space,
Mhm.
holy man, it's amazing.
Right.
So then they had to shut us down because we were
Yeah.
getting it was get so. But what they were not anticipating is that enough of us would figure out that guess what?
Mhm.
I can go within.
Right.
I can I can reach you as effectively
Yep.
just this way because energy
Mhm.
knows no time and space. They didn't expect for us
No.
to grasp that concept so quickly.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I find it interesting, to your point, when of course, of people, a lot of people, especially in our community, will say things like, "Well, what you mean aliens?" and so on and so forth. But if you know anything about your history and go and look at the old, like the sketches that have been found and the carvings that have
And
been
the
found,
hieroglyphics and all of that. Yep.
and the fact that different cultures across the world that supposedly we weren't connected at that time had the same information, that we received something from the sky, that we received information that there were beings that came here. So where did that come from? They just made it up one day? I doubt it. It's because it happened.
Hey,
That
I'm gonna show you something.
footprint of information.
Absolutely. I was just talking with my mother recently, and oh God, it was just anyway, I was just talking with my mom recently, and I was talking to her about aliens, and she couldn't even handle it. She's very Christian.
Right.
She's like,
Yeah.
"Well, no, I don't think there's any aliens." I said, "Mom," I said, "Why wouldn't there be?"
Right. Like,
Like, I don't understand. What do you honestly think that in this expanse of the universe,
no. No.
we're it?
Yeah, because we're only allowed to look from, stop at the nose and
Right.
give your hand to someone else to lead you in the correct, you know.
Absolutely. Here, I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna share this. I just
All right.
literally saw a YouTube video about this. I'm gonna share this, and we're gonna get to these comments, guys. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna answer this question first. Does it amplify during Lionsgate? Lionsgate, because of what Lionsgate is, and because of the constellations that Lionsgate is centered around and activates, that's the another reason why they have to do this in July, because Lionsgate is truly like a source gate. It's a protective gate for us. It's protective energies. It involves Sirius A and Sirius B. You know, those star systems where ascendant masters and even higher dimensional beings than that, theoretically, if you believe all that, reside. So that is an open portal for that energy to come in. So they got to get this in first. They got uh that's an excellent question. So hang on 1 second. Let me share this tab. I literally just saw something on this just the other day. Let me get rid of this. Let me see if I can blow it up. Oh, that's not the tab. No wonder. Hang on, guys. You know, I do know how to operate this. I swear I do. I swear I do. Hold on. This is they had never they did not think they didn't understand where the Incans came from and the Mayans and everything. They couldn't put it all together. Recently they found in the Supe River region, they have excavated this entire pyramid civilization structure. I saw this on it was a History Channel YouTube video that they just put up maybe 2 weeks ago. Anyway, they were trying to say, well, this wasn't really a civilization because of something. It was something stupid. I was like, okay, wait. This whole Coliseum right here where people could go watch stuff happen. I'm looking at all these potential buildings and areas and
Right.
how the anyway,
Exactly. Why they
if
keep pretending they don't know why or how the pyramids were built, or the fact that, they had to do certain things to alter the Sphinx. And then you go to parts of Mexico where they're talking about the same thing that the Egyptians were talking about. And it goes
yes,
on and on. You go to parts of Africa, and of course, Egypt has automatically become a different place, which that was
it's a whole nother thing.
always an engine, right? But there are parts of this world that are being shown to us through the internet that
Mhm.
how it's not a coincidence.
No, and in these the hieroglyphics in these areas, what they have. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Turn back on, baby. I don't know if I go red, they might not like it. Oh yeah, I can go red. We had DEFCON red around here. Um, listen, there we go. Red alert. Red alert.
You know
Um,
how it go. They listening. They hearing them key words. No,
red
let me
alert.
stop.
I turned that red alert around here because we needed it. Um, they in the walls and the tablets of what they found excavated,
Right.
very the same looking, very tall
Exactly. Exactly.
beings were working with the humans.
Exactly. So
Stop playing with me.
that you're telling me that there wasn't technology enough for us to be connected. The same story you told me when I was growing up in school, that there would be no way that people could migrate from Africa all the way to what we now know as the Americas, even though Africa is not even the correct name. You've renamed things, you've reshaped things to hide things, and now
Mm-hmm.
they keep popping back up
Mm-hmm.
because just like everything else, it's constantly moving. So you're not going to run that far from our history because it's coming back
Mm-hmm.
around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'm just kind of scrolling through this K-Cow per individual. He is saying that it's he said he's denying the anthropogenic causes of global warming.
Mm.
Anyway, we'll look at him in a minute. So my point to all this I'm saying is that they know that that this exists. They know about the Anunnaki. They know about reptilians. They
Right.
know about Lyrians. They know about Lemurians. They know about Dracos. They know about all of these different star races. But anytime any of us start talking about them, we're all of a sudden cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Look at the
So,
majority of what we've learned. Now it's common to us, but prior to that, it had to be some kind of conspiracy. You had to be some kind of nutcase.
right. Kenzie says to study as of now, we're not able to get too close to, this is the reason I would do it, to too close to black holes, so they're mysterious and humans are curious. I would agree with you, but curiosity killed the cat.
That is true.
I
I hate
don't,
to say that, but it's
uh,
true.
I, they
I hate
might
to
be
say that.
curious. I'm not saying that they shouldn't and we should not be curious. But when you're playing with stuff that you don't really understand,
Exactly.
what Stevie wanted to say?
Mm.
When you got they messing with stuff they don't really understand.
You ain't gonna get no kids chemicals, right? Because they don't have any idea yet as to what the dangers are of that. Human beings naturally are curious, but there are levels to this.
Listen, we
And
gonna
I
get our kids
believe
chemicals. I don't know about other people. Um,
children
uh,
that weren't raised in public school. I'm not knocking all public schools. I'm just saying some things are left out. That's all
yes.
I'm gonna
What is
say.
Operation Paperclip? I gotta look at that. Operation Paperclip. Okay, here we go. We're gonna look at that in a second. The Transformers movies were telling it low key, absolutely, especially the first
That's
one,
what
Dark
I
Dark
thought when you
Unknown.
said. I thought I was being silly because I was like, "Wait a minute, dark matter."
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh, it was established before Mako. Okay.
That's just wild to me that of course we knew. They're already on Mars. They're trying to um figure out a way for us to live, not us, but for them to live on Mars. And now they're doing personal rocket tests and
Absolutely.
can you take yourself and can human beings go to Mars and come back and not be damaged?
There are theories that we are actually on Mars.
Mhm.
There, I have heard some theories that we are actually on Mars and that Earth back in 2012 was already demolished,
Wow.
but that our consciousness hasn't
It's
quite let go of the fact that basically because there is no time and space, that all of this is
mhm.
just playing out as our consciousnesses because we haven't been able to release ourselves from this earthly plane.
Interesting. That's what I asked
Um,
my sister. Me and her were talking about that, and I said, I feel there was a shift.
there
I used
absolutely
to
was.
ask my sister and my mother, I used to say, am I losing my mind? Something's off.
No.
I feel like I just woke up. And
Yes.
this was like 20, I want to say like it was like 2014.
Yeah.
And then it really hit me 2018.
Yeah.
And
It
I
hit a
was
lot of
like,
us again in 2018.
yeah,
It hit a lot of us again in 20, and I think there was some other stuff that they did.
yeah.
Um, Gog, and bringing to mind some of the religious texts about beings that are going to be let back into the earth called Gog and Magog. Um, do I think it could be along those lines? I absolutely do think it could be along those lines. I absolutely believe it could be along those lines. I'm gonna show you guys the astrology to prove what I am saying. Because when I looked at the astrological chart, it's an effed up situation. That one, Age of Ultron, absolutely. These people are talking about opening a portal large enough for sending a drone or probe through to quote unquote explore. Okay, So if they listen, they know what they're doing, y'all. This is the thing, and I have. Oh man, am I supposed to tell this right now?
Yes, you're supposed to tell it, and we're all listening. Because how
So,
does the truth pass? How do we get to a place of understanding? We listen to other people that don't know nothing and tell us made up things that make no sense, and we watch it and believe it.
all right, here we go. A few months back, mm, 6, 7, maybe 8, I had a series of visions. We'll just put it like that, where I saw portals opening in various parts of the world, and there were various lower dimensional, or I should say, lower frequency, not necessarily lower dimensional, because we get those things mixed up sometimes. There are beings that can be in other frequencies that are not necessarily that don't necessarily mean us any good, aka the Anunnaki. If you don't believe the Anunnaki exist,
Right.
I really can't help y'all. I don't know what to tell
Yeah.
you. Um, Not all, like, you hear about reptilian and things like that,
Right.
and if you've been watching any of these TikTok is a wonderful thing, which was why they're trying to shut it down here in the States.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all heard about that, that
Yes.
they're trying to shut it down as of
Hmm.
July 8th. They're saying it's because that the Chinese are getting too much of
Like you
our
didn't know
much
that was happening
information,
already. Right.
right?
Hmm.
I Do I believe the Chinese are gathering information? Yeah. Do I believe it
Okay.
more so because of the amount of information that we're putting out there? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've seen probably no less than 50 or so different TikToks where you'll see people shape shift into the form of what we would consider demonic being. I've seen people catch the shadow beings moving across within
Right.
crowds or
Yeah.
moving on the street. So these things exist. Now, let me go back to my vision. I've seen them coming through. I've seen them
Hmm.
taking some people out, regenerating them and bringing them back.
Okay.
I've also those seen higher dimensional beings. Some would say some angelic beings. There are other beings that I have seen from other planets and energy and realms, dimensions coming in to assist. So I've seen these things opening up, and it depends on what side of the coin who's opening up the portals. Because us light workers are opening up portals in heaven, if you will, because we are in contact with, in concert with, we understand that we are reaching out to the higher dimensional realms and, allowing for them to come in, just like others are opening up portals in the other portion of the spectrum. Because where there is great light, there has to be great dark, because we live in a dual world.
Right.
So it's all just getting started. This isn't over by a long shot. We're just getting warmed up. And as I've been talking
Hmm.
to y'all about raising your frequency, raising your vibrational set point, and going through your ascension process, it is imperative that we do this, because if we don't, we can end up hypnotized, if you will, subjugated, and further enslaved and controlled, much like you see in the Matrix. They feed off our energy. That is real, guys. That's not a joke. Think about how many negative and toxic people have fed off your energy.
Right.
So you
Well,
don't
they need us. They need us. They need us to
absolutely.
keep. the authority to keep the power that they are trying to keep in on the earth, but they need us. They need us to, because there's this, as you go, of course, just like a pyramid, as you go up, 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 it gets smaller and smaller. And I must add this, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I had this dream 2 nights ago where I woke up and I was so tired and I was so upset that I had to sleep for like a day after this.
Mm.
And it was about the earth breaking apart, like literally pieces of it. It felt so real. It felt like I was right there. I could feel the weight. I could feel the gravity change. I could feel it. And it was like only a certain amount of people would be caught on these different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And it began as something that humans started, but it was finished another way. And that's as
Mm-hmm.
far as I'll go as far as that's concerned. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason it stands out to me is because it's just like when what happened in Ukraine started. The night before, I had a dream about this underground world and people having to survive underground. And then the next morning, they announced what was going on and that there were people in the subways. And it freaked me out because I told my sister, I said, "What time did I tell you?" It was so real to me that I had to record it. And I feel like we are so connected when you open up, when you start to see the world differently, you start to see people differently, you hear things differently.
Yeah.
And that's that thing where I'm like, am I losing it? Do I need to get my
No, you're not
medication
losing it. You're
checked?
just opening
You know
up.
what I mean? Like, what
You're
is
not
happening?
losing it. Your higher self is now your spirit, your true self is more connected with the universe and the collective consciousness. So now you're tapped in and able to get these messages, what we would call downloads.
Yeah. Yeah. I could
You
definitely,
you
I,
know,
yeah.
and it's important, especially for the women, to do this. We're the dreamers. We're the seers. I'm not saying
Yeah.
men can't be,
But
but
right. I got what you're
historically,
saying.
that's who we've always been. And the
Right.
problem is that we've been boom, on
Yeah.
purpose.
And that's why I felt like when I started talking to people and I would tell them certain things about themselves and how I could feel what was going on and how it would change me and how I got away from being around people. I used to be a hardcore people person. Like I was always around. I was, I loved the social activities.
Mhm.
But from 2018, as I have continued to try to re-educate and to learn different things and understand what is around me, I have to stay away because
Mhm.
it's like someone will drain the energy from me. I'm exhausted when I come from large gatherings or I'm out and around a lot of, it's like I can feel the energy shifting, the negative and the positive
Yeah.
constantly moving.
Well,
So
that's a
yeah.
whole, yeah, that's a whole empath. We need to talk about that, I guess.
Oh,
Anyway,
I'm
we need to talk
sorry.
about empath protection. Let me answer this question. I know I'm behind
Yes,
in the
yes.
chats, guys. Did the fallen angels not commit heinous acts of creating Nephilim and sharing forbidden knowledge among people? There are different stories, Tarot Guy. There are different versions of that story. They would say, I always grew up hearing that any of the quote unquote aliens or other beings that we saw in the hieroglyphics in the Egyptian temples, right, and the Egyptian pyramids, those were all demons. They were all demons. Every last one of them, just evil. That's not true. Um, in a number of mythological or spiritual practices, before the Bible, before King James wrote demonology, because he wrote demonology in his treatise or study on demonology before he commissioned the Bible to be translated and written. I want you to
Thank you for
grasp
saying
that.
that. Thank you for saying that. I've gotten into so many arguments about that.
It's
Thank you.
history.
It
Like
is history, and people don't want to read it, and they don't want to deal.
he was more interested prior to now. It really your whole thing was to get the word of God down, right? Wouldn't you translate that first? No, he was much more interested in demons and demonology. So he wrote and commissioned all of that. He studied that before he wrote the Bible, or he got commissioned people to write the Bible the way he wanted it written. Now, before all this whole concept of fallen angels and all of this, it was around, but it was discussed in a very different way, in that there were races and all alien beings are not angels or what we would call demons. They are not. There are many, 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 many more than that. Many more. And we're going to start seeing them. We're going to start physically. This is why we've had Star Trek and Star Wars and Alien and Independence Day. And I'm sure y'all Transformers. I'm sure y'all
Hmm.
get to
All of
name it
them.
more and more. This is why we've had these War of the Worlds. This is why we've had these movies around for decades, probably a century at this point at least, because they had to let us know, that these things exist.
Without them being real. To play off that this is just fantasy. This is why it's called science fiction. It's not real. This is just a game. And we know from past experience that is not the truth.
Science fiction becomes science fact. Now,
Mm.
heinous, forbidden knowledge. I don't know if it's forbidden knowledge. What's forbidden knowledge? Because every time I've heard that reference, it's typically surrounding magic with a K, not a magic trick, magic with a K, which in and of itself is not evil. It is what you do with it. That those practices were considered forbidden. Why would it be forbidden? I don't know. You tell me. Maybe because people would give people more power. I don't know. They would know the power. No, all aliens are not bad guys. I mean, that might be hard for some of y'all. Uh, we are in more danger. We're gonna get to that part. Hey Tay, how are you, love? Excuse me, T. There's a show called The Man Who Fell to Earth. It deals directly with aliens, physics, energy, etc. Although it's a TV show, it's shockingly accurate and plausible. I will have to look that up. Star races. Stars are often depicted as angels and vice versa because Satan is called the morning star. Jesus is called that as well. So all these other lizard people and stuff are the Nephilim. No, there are some good reptilians and there are some not so good reptilians. Not all of them are bad. Not all the Lyrians are bad. But reptilians have usually been associated with Africa, and so then immediately then everyone is like, oh, that's bad, right? Just like, I know I'm probably going some places some of y'all are not ready for yet, but I'm gonna go there anyway. Just like when you see like Palladians depicted, they're typically all depicted as blonde hair, blue-eyed, looking a lot like the Nordic and the European. They are not all that. So not all the good guys are light, are pale with no melanin. So interesting enough, guys, I want you to understand both Satan and Jesus are both referred to as the morning star. Look it up. I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm not saying nothing. I ain't calling Jesus Satan. I ain't calling Satan Jesus. I'm just saying. And there's something else I'm gonna actually start reading and looking into is the holy tablets that tell the story of creation, like the Anunnaki story of creation. Child, that's getting deep. Africa and the Americans were one land. Absolutely. That's why
Mm-hmm.
Pangea. That's why Mexico and Egypt had pyramids because they were able to traverse easily through. Yes, and there are pyramids here in the United States of America.
Yeah.
Krista says, "You saying something about Mars reminded me. I saw an article earlier saying a mysterious rocket created the crater. I've seen that a crater on the moon. I've seen that as well. There is a lot of discussion on whether or not the moon actually exists, but we're going to have that discussion another day. Operation Paperclip is the name of the government's operation to bring Nazi scientists. Okay, thank you, baby. I did not know. Thank you so much. You're taking it. Yeah, they'll reject the truth. Reject the truth. I don't care. Shut down for Facebook wanting to be that girl with Meta. That's a possibility. Did you all see earlier, just a few hours ago, Zuckerberg just announced that he's laying off a whole bunch of people at Facebook?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah. Take you out and don't bring you back. Stop, Melissa. You're gonna be here for a minute, so you might as well get settled. You still ain't finished your work. TikTok thing where the spiritual side of it has been getting what is called shadow ban. Absolutely. Where their growth and content is getting scaled back. Absolutely it is. Just like I can't advertise Lightwork or Liftoff and use hashtag spiritual. I can't use hashtag astrology. I can't use hashtag tarot. I can't use hashtag ascension. I can't use hashtag awakening.
No,
They
because
don't.
how can you be awake? They don't want you awake.
No, they absolutely don't.
Because then how are you not buying what we make, eating what we make? No, it's just like when I was telling my other sister at the time, when I watched on the news and they say blatantly, do not make your own baby formula. And I sat back and go, what? Wait a minute. Did I
Yeah,
did I
you did.
just
You heard
catch
it.
it?
You heard it.
Don't make your own. What do you think we was doing before
And
Abbott Labs?
listen,
Like what?
and Bette Midler crazy behind got up and said, "Oh, well, don't breastfeed your baby" or something like that. Lady,
Yeah.
shut up
What
with your
in the
old
world?
behind.
Right. You ain't go. That's dust. Okay, let me be quiet. So you
Right,
answer your stuff.
right. Powdered milk. Anyway, but I don't know if you remember, but I remember hearing my mother talk about how way back in the day, like in the 60s and stuff, they used to give babies pet milk.
Yes. True story. My grandmother saved my life. When I was born, I wouldn't eat. The food they were trying to give me, I wouldn't eat. I had lost all this weight, and my mom was 19 years old. She told me she sold everything she had, got on a bus from Columbus to Cleveland. My grandmother opened the door and she said, "Here." She
Mm.
fed me carnation. She went up in her box and started pulling different things together, and here I be.
It was pet milk or carnation milk. So it
Yes.
was
Mhm.
evaporated milk they
That's
used to
right.
use and they would put different things in it. So if you were constipated, they put
Mhm.
molasses in it or Karo syrup
Right. Yes,
to
that's
get you
it.
to drink water because
Right.
back in the day we understood that the baby still needed water. Now they tell you your baby don't need water. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Exactly.
But anyway, in order to
Okay,
get the
I'm sorry.
baby to drink
Yes.
water, you put the Karo syrup in there to give it
Right.
a little sweetness, and so the baby would drink it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Anyway, see, that's the old stuff. Okay, do I remember when Trump wanted to get rid of TikTok? I do. Some stuff he was wrong, some stuff he had insight. He wanted to get rid of TikTok because of how much he specifically said, I remember this, the information that they were gathering off of our phones, because none of us, maybe some of y'all do, I don't read the terms of service and what we were allowing them to then have the rights to
Right.
gather from our phone.
Mhm.
That's why TikTok is so their algorithm is so on point. I mean, Not for nothing. It is an amazing algorithm. Um, but yes, I do remember that. And I still stand by, I get the fact that no, we shouldn't be allowing them to gather all our stuff like that. Demons, angels, divine, and toxic all work off energy. Angels and divine off positivity and vice versa for negativity. Yes. But what I want you to grasp, tarot guy, and maybe you do down live further because I'm way behind. There's more than just angels and demons. There's that's such a like it's very dual, which I get. We live in a dual world, but I'm trying to like expand people so that you realize this is a quantum realm. Like there's is so much more than that, right? I got to get to the astrology of all this. Let me get through these chats. Um, I did a recent lunar reading for this month and mentioned women need to pay attention to your dreams, absolutely, and get answered. Hey, Joy, how are you, sweetie? Okay, y'all, I'm not going to start quoting Bible verse, are you? Acts 2:17. It shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Absolutely. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Absolutely. However, that's a very patriarchal, misogynistic point of view. And I say that to say this. Women are better equipped for prophetic and spiritual endeavors. Christianity is the only, and I don't know enough about a lot of the different Europeans. I know about the Celts, but let me just talk about the melanated folks. It's normal. It was normal for the women, for them, before they went to war, before they got new land, before they elected a new leader, all different things. The men would get the women together, the shamans, the seers. They would get the group of us that had the gifts, and the other women would come around in a supportive circle, and we would go into the spirit realm, astral travel. We would lucid dream, go in and see, and come back and tell the men, do this, do this, do this, do this. It's just our feminine nature. It's how we're built. It's okay. So when they, I feel like in what I'm reading now, seeing a lot of these verses, I'm recognizing how they just absolutely didn't want to give a woman a break. They didn't want to give us any of our props.
No, because that meant we had power. And at the time when this was commissioned, to your point, this was male driven. The Bible is male driven.
Absolutely. Yes, Enoch does predate the Bible. There are many beings that live among us. Absolutely, they are unseen. And there are many beings that live among us. And there are some beings that have taken on human form and chosen to incarnate as humans so that they would have the right to speak into the world and speak into the earth and create. Hidden in plain sight. Yes, Melinda. Oh, I got to get through this. Do I know of shadow figures with red eyes? Absolutely. I've seen them, Krista, numerous times. Nothing is fake. Many of the ethereal creatures are not ethereal. They're just real, but that's a whole nother topic. Absolutely. We're going to have to get into that. Facebook is going down. Yes, they are. That was when I talked about that. Your own baby formula is breast milk. Absolutely. But some of us, like my first baby, she wouldn't latch. I couldn't do. It just didn't work. It just didn't work. I personally think angels and demons, as we know them, are aliens. Yes, I'm a Christian, and God is not this earthly realm. He banished Satan and angel to earth. Then he sent his son. Yep. Pet milk. Yep. And that's all we knew. Let me go back. Hey, girl talk. How you doing? Hey, B. How are you? The demonic have to match the divine level to trick. Wow, we got it. Can we start? I'm gonna try to shift y'all's, and then we're gonna get into the astrology of CERN. I didn't know this was gonna go this direction. I want y'all to start to shift your consciousness from demonic and angelic to shadow and light. From demonic and angelic to shadow and light. Because when we stop putting a specific label on a specific energy, we are more capable of discerning what is of shadow and what is of light. Because I'm telling you, if you're always looking for a demon, you're going to miss a whole lot. And if you're always looking for an angel, you're going to miss your help. Now, that's all I got to say on that. Demons can take on any form. His only morning star, he did have to match up to Jesus' level to be able to trick human beings. Let me tell you something, Tarot Guy. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to. Can y'all still hear me? Because just Chocolate Earth must have muted.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, good. Because
Yeah,
I
I
was like,
muted.
she muted?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Because I didn't
yo.
want to say nothing. I didn't want to
I'm like,
interrupt you because
no.
you're trying to get through
I'm
the
like,
things
no.
that they were saying.
I don't.
No.
I could have been talking to myself. I've been known to do that.
Yes.
Um, there's another thing that how do I say this? We had an old saying in the church that sometimes we blame the devil for so much. We give him way too much credit.
Honey.
Y'all ever heard that?
Yeah. Nah, come on. Speak it.
But that there's reality, there's truth to that. Because you have to get to a point where you understand that you contain both shadow and light. Within you is both the devil and God.
Come
God,
on now.
God
There
created
it
the
is.
devil, right? God created. If God created everything,
Mm-hmm.
if that's where we're gonna go with this, then God had to create the devil too, right?
Exactly. Look at what human beings can do, what they are capable of to do if they do it in the light, and what they're able to do in the dark. Why do we have those dualities if that wasn't the truth? I'm gonna leave it right there.
So, amen. So when we do shadow work, we're really going in and taking the energy that is there and then saying, what lesson did I come here in this incarnation to learn as a result of these experiences that this drove me to or took me down a path of? And that's how we're able then to transmute it and re you know and reintegrate it and elevate. This is how we're able to forgive others and then forgive ourselves. To me, and some people would say that that is potentially an atonement process. And atonement, when you break it down, is at one meant. So all we're trying to do is to be once again at one with source, with God. Atonement is simply that. Christ is a Christ consciousness. Did Jesus walk the earth? Absolutely. What Jesus ushered in is a consciousness, though. And we've only been looking at the man and not integrating the energy. Man, I did not intend to talk to this about the damn CERN. The CERN just. That's fine, dear. I'm just trying to expand a little consciousness. That's all. Just trying to expand a little consciousness. Just listen. Thanks, LaShane. Thank you, dear. Let me move around. Let me keep going, guys. That's totally fine, guys. That's totally fine. But if Jesus and Satan go by the morning star, could it make it easier for people to be tricked if one of them comes back? Well, but I thought that the belief was that Satan was still here. Where did Satan go? He didn't leave. I also do not believe the Bible is heavily male oriented. Yes, absolutely. That they wanted to stifle women. Absolutely. Don't give your power away. Oh, I'm really behind. Okay. It's in the. I want to say he's called that in Psalms, and I want to say that he's called that again in the New Testament. You're able to create your own story. You're able to change your mind. Everything is at free will. Absolutely. You're able to use discernment and determine who is right and wrong for you. Absolutely. Thank you. All right. I'm caught up now. All right. Thank you guys. I so very much appreciate you being patient and allowing me to catch up. All right, let's go to the. Should we look at the astrology of it all? Do y'all want to look at the astrology of it all to see what I was seeing? Do you
Yes,
see
I
what
do.
I see?
I want to know.
A star, a star. Okay, I don't know why that came out my spirit, but that one show came out, didn't it? Okay, here we go. We're gonna paste this here. So I'm gonna show you right now the astrology for the 5th of July at 10 a.m. Central Time. Hey, Dadal, how are you? I'm so glad you caught me, sweetie. I'm doing well. This is going to be the astrological chart for the 5th of July at what would be 4 p.m. their time, because I believe that should be right about the time that they're planning on firing this joker up. Okay, so this is going to be how the everything is over Geneva. Okay, I'm going to call your attention very specifically to something that is rather hidden, and that is what really is a T-square, and I'll explain what a T-square is, between Mercury, the moon, and Neptune in retrograde in Pisces. Just a few hours before this occurs, or I would say about 12 at the most hours, this will be a full-on T-square. So just before this thing fires completely up and is at full power and full capacity, Mercury is going to be right about over here in Gemini. And let me explain to you why this is significant and what a T-square in astrology is. A T-square in astrology is when there are two planets or planetary entities that are in opposition to one another, direct opposition, and a third planet then comes in and makes a square between both of them. When this happens, all three planets are in the same modality or type of sign: cardinal, mutable, or fixed. When T-squares occur in different modalities of signs, they represent different things. So I want us to look at this from the perspective of this is a T-square in the mutable signs of Virgo, of Pisces, and of Gemini, of earth, of water, and of air. First of all, I'm going to denote the fact that fire is not present in this T-square. Why is that important to me? because that means they've already decided what their passions and their ideas are. That's already been decided upon. There's no need for them to gain any further inspiration. The fire is not there. What they are doing then is specifically utilizing fire, air, and water, air, and earth in order to do what? To bring something into manifestation. Because you first need the idea, you need to speak, you need to add your spirit to it, and then it comes up from the earth. It is then manifested. Okay, made manifest. A T square represents an extremely volatile and powerful and aggressive aspect. What you have is an opposition, and normally I don't talk about these aspects in that side of things, but I need to bring that to light because it's important. It is like forcing one to take action or forcing an action or series of actions on steroids. It's like this must happen and we're doing it now. And we're doing it in a very hardcore, real way. The moon, let me undo some of this. We're going to take each on its own. The moon is in the 10th house. Those of you that are taking my class or you know anything about astrology know that the 10th house is the house of how you are seen, how you are perceived. It is your career house. It is the Capricornian house. So think about everything Capricornian, right? Everything Capricornian. It's no coincidence. This is happening when the moon, if you were born in Geneva at this time, the moon would be in your 10th house, which means all of your emotions, everything that you base yourself on is all about accolades, perceptions, winning, awards, outer perception, and also the creation of everything foundational, right? Like, so everything, your career, all these things, right, that we think of as foundational aspects of our lives, your social mores and morals, your boundaries, everything is in this like 10th house energy, right? And so we have the moon in Virgo, and Virgo is very representative of the earth. It's representative of Virgin Mary. It's represented, right, of something that's going to give birth to something, and an energy that's going to give birth to something. And we have the moon, which is the mother there. We have her in opposition of Neptune in retrograde in Pisces in the 4th house, which is the house of family, right? The house of home, motherhood, close proximity, stability, right? But that's a nurturing house. With Neptune in retrograde in Pisces in that house, Neptune in retrograde at this degree, especially because we're definitely in the last decan, we're at 25 degrees. This is when it's at its most potent. This is when it's at its most delusional. This on its own can give amazing strides and new inventions, or it can be given to mad scientist. I'm probably going with B for 500. Okay. I'm going with mad scientist for 500, Alex. Like, that's where I'm going with this. It is the delusional thought process that you can create something and you're not going to have any ill gain or ill effects. It can be given over to dark dream and energy, dark desire. When this is a true T square, Mercury will be at home in Gemini in its most potent space. Look at also, guys, all these planets are in their most potent or AKA powerful degrees in each of the sign, maximizing their energy. When you have a T square, the least powerful of them all, of all the planetary energies, is the one that's creating the squares because it's being pulled in two directions. So it's got to battle both. When I saw this, I was like, this feels like an upsetting of the apple cart of the yin and the yang, of trying to, also because of the sextile between Mercury here and Mars in Taurus, just entering Taurus, in the fifth house, the house of Leo, the house of I think I can do it all. I'm big and bad, and I can do everything. And I want to be seen. I want you to see me do everything. It's also the house of very much loyalty. Who do they have loyalty to? I don't know. And I'm not even saying that these particular scientists necessarily know the ramifications of what they're doing. I'm just saying the ramifications are there. That being the house of I have. So if this is one of these moments in time where I feel like these people are ready to possess and be on the world stage and show their intellectual, scientific prowess. And they care, but they kind of don't care. That Gemini energy can also give you very much that Mercury Mars sextile can also give you the indestructible, like, it'll be fine. It's all good. I could just open up a whole freaking black hole and portal into who knows what dimension. We'll just send a drone through. It's all good. And the fact that Mercury will just be entering seventh house, Mercury just entering into Cancer as it is, as they turn it on. So it'll still be a T square, but it'll be separating a little bit. To me, makes your thoughts and your dreams become reality, right? Because Cancer, again, is this mother, it's this impregnation energy. We also have indestructible thought processes coming from the sun squaring Jupiter, believe it or not. That's one of those, yeah, we can do it all. And we got to do it all now. I can conquer the world. Very much that. Very much that. And then Mars is then squaring off against Pluto over here in retrograde in the second house. I just see personal and global energy shifts because we have the big heavy hitters. 3 of the 4 big heavy hitters, Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune all in retrograde at the same time. Uranus is preparing to go into retrograde again soon. That is a very unstable set of circumstances. That is unstable energy. And the moon is trining that unstable energy over here. It makes you question, do y'all really know what you're playing with? It makes me question it. It makes me question big time. Oops. And now Bixby listening to me. Don't listen to me. I'm not talking to you. And then we also have this. We also have the North Node and Uranus coming conjunct or conjunct specifically, and they'll be on top of one another within a day or so on the 6th, I would say. Um, that, though, is a positive. Not that any of this isn't positive or can't be flipped. That's positive. Why is that positive? Because that is creation, revolutionary, rebellious energy saying, I'm going to survive no matter what. That's the energy that would give humankind what some people would say is horrible information. Oh my God, you taught them how to create fire, right? That's the energy that's saying, no, you're going to survive no matter what. And we're going to give you the information and the knowledge to help you do so. That's in the 6th house in Taurus. That tells me that just as much as there is a potential for things to open, there is also the strong propensity for us to be able to combat it. Oh, honey, I didn't see. The 10th house for people with a Cancer sign. I'm not understanding that question. So sorry. I'm gonna post the if you guys want to come up on the panel, you can still I'll be up here for a little while. I'll stay. Okay. I don't understand what that means. I'm so sorry. Let me go back up here. I missed a whole lot now again. Okay. They want to play with other dimensions like it's Lego, right? Where they think they can build a window and take it back down without consequences. That's exactly what I'm saying. But part of me thinks that some of them know the consequences. I'm not gonna lie. My belief is you believe in God, you must also believe that he is not of this earth. Right? Also that things and realms we could not possibly understand. Yeah, I agree with you, T. Hence is why Jesus taught in parables as we as humans could understand. Sure, yeah. There are other things I would want to say, but I don't want to cause an issue or anger anybody because my beliefs in this is a safe space. This is a safe space. I'm going to challenge, not because I'm trying to show you that you're wrong, but I firmly believe that people should, if you believe something, we should know why we believe what we believe it. And I'm always open for discussions. Always open. So this is a very safe place. And anybody can tell you. You Gemini venting, being a Gemini, Sag, and Libra. Whoo, boy, oh boy. So it's very interesting your point of view on things, and yet you're a tarot guy and you know your astrological sign. Oh, I'd love to talk to you too, sweetheart. I know her, baby. So I'm trying to understand what this means. 10th house for people with Cancer sign. No, well, oh, yes. The moon will be in the 10th house. Frankenstein vibes, absolutely. Um, Filled with astrology, it absolutely is. Oh my God, I'm hungry. I do tend to label things angelic, divine, or demonic, toxic, so people can easily understand what you're talking about. Got it, no problem. I don't always think of those terms. I was full-blown pagan for several years. Oh, gotcha. So the shadow and light terms are there as well. Perfect, no problem, babe. Okay, so your internet froze. Okay, I got you. And thank you for being here. I don't think they know what they're messing with yet. I think some of them I don't think so. I do think there are some that do. I really do. I really do. I have a very as do I. So I do understand the science side of things with the spiritual being and heavy energy worker or my own self. I love because I don't think they should ever be separated. Thanks, UT. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Everything they do without really knowing the effects of until after the fact. Yes, some of them don't know. Some of them do know. How do we know these crazy scientists are not alien? We don't. We don't. We don't. You guys know the term angels, there's angels amongst us, right? Angels live amongst us. Cancer signs are sensitive people and they always need to be right. Oh, do I always need to be right? The 10th house has similar traits to Cancers. Absolutely, because that's our opposing sign. Hey, tarot guy, how are you? You might have to hit your audio settings, the gear down there. Do I always need to be right? Is that why I challenge everything? She just busted me out. Sounds like they have a big agenda against humanity. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely, they do. It's not even so much against humanity, is to further or continue to utilize humanity for their own purposes. Oh, okay, no problem. Both of your children. She just called me out. I do have a tendency, though, to always need to be right. Oh, y'all, I'm hungry. I just realized that. Oh my God, it's 12 o'clock midnight, almost. Y'all, I might not be here. Never mind. I need to go to bed. I got to get up tomorrow. Okay, but I don't want to leave y'all without us understanding how I believe we can protect ourselves. So remember I told you about that Uranus North Node energy right there. The main point is for us to be aware of what's potentially happening here. The main point is for us, we do hate liars with a passion. The main point is for us to be prepared, right? So now, so if you can see this is what could potentially happen, I believe as light workers, I believe as light warriors, ascended beings, even if you don't feel like you're too ascended, I believe that what we should be doing is setting up the protective grid and column of light around the earth and humanity, that we need to be protecting. Hey, tarot guy, welcome to the show.
There we go.
There you go. I'll just finish this thought, that we need to be setting up and focusing our energy with a protective column of light, if you will, or a barrier around the LHC to contain further whatever they're trying to bring through. And those of us that can see, if you do see something, there's going to be a number of us that are going to be meditating at that time and probably stream it here. But we need that is where I feel that we are most useful, is to be sure that we are actually guarding the earth. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. Good. What are your thoughts, sir?
Okay, well, with CERN, obviously they're trying to open a portal. They already know this. Michino Kakuya, he's a famous astrophysicist. He has, it was several years ago, even on YouTube, there was a video posted where he was talking about they had opened stable portals the size of a particle, and they have sent particles through it. And then he said that they wanted to eventually, and he said it was years in the future now, but they eventually wanted to open a portal big enough to be able to send a probe or a drone in to take measurements and readings on what was on the other side and process that data. Now, he never said that they had a plan for them to do retrieval, but you know they're going to try to do that.
I'm gonna find that video. I'm gonna find it.
It's an older video. I don't remember where it was. It's on YouTube somewhere. But he was saying that they had already opened a stable portal for particles to go through.
Yeah. They're saying your mic is a little. Are
I'm
you
on
in
a phone. I'm on a phone.
Oh. Okay, guys, we're just gonna have to listen because he's on a phone. So, okay, go ahead because you sound a little garbled, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's because I'm on a phone through my Chrome on it, so it's a little it's a little different.
Yep. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, as far as CERN goes, they're really basically trying to open portals to this what we would call the fifth dimension, which certain people who already have the sight of know what have seen, have traveled and things like that, and have seen that portion of reality. It's like if you got your real psychics and stuff like that can see into that kind of extra stuff behind the veil and stuff like that. So that's what they're trying to get. Where they want to be able to be like, oh, well, open it up and find out what does this other dimension look like?
Do you think that some of them, I would say, think that that's what they're gonna do? But I do believe some of them actually, they're in the know. They're in the know. Like that they recognize that, yeah, they're going to the fifth dimension. But yes, like I was saying earlier, there are higher dimensional, higher frequency beings and lower frequency beings in other dimensions.
Yes.
So I feel like the people that need I feel like the people that are really behind this know full well they're opening the door. Let's face it, they ain't trying to open the door for higher dimensional, higher frequency beings to come through. They're trying to open that for the lower frequency beings to come through.
Oh, yeah, because I mean, because they do know what's going on. I mean, I've never thought that they didn't. I never thought that, they were just, oh, this is just all hypothetical. We're trying to figure everything out. Yeah, some people like Michino Kukua, he doesn't know. But the people funding him, they know. So they want it, they're going to take the people that don't know and have them perform all the experiments.
Yeah. Oh.
By the way, yes, my belief system is a little like mismatched. I grew up in the church in Christianity. I went into the military. I became a pagan for several years, and then I kind of flip-flop back and forth. So yes, I do tarot cards as like reading for tools because I'm an energy worker. Because I've been an energy worker all my life. It took me until my adulthood to really realize it. But then at the same time, I have a very like sciencey, analytical mind. And it's just I'm kind of like a mishmash of things.
Oh, I love it because I'm the same way. Like that's why this like lit me up because I love the science part of it, and I've never felt that science and spirituality should have ever. I didn't understand why there was a separation. I never got that.
And it wasn't that way in the past because science before it was called science and medicine. It was all called magic and alchemy.
Absolutely.
It was all spirit based. It was all, well, if you're healing people, you're performing alchemy, and if you're coming up with like these things that people haven't seen or known about or whatever, you were performing magic. You could perform magic if you knew science.
Right. So so I have zero issue with like I had no issue with it. I ask questions and I challenge stuff.
I was sitting there and talking. I'm like, okay, do I say this next part? Because everything seems kind of like it's getting a little bit combative right now.
I didn't mean to get. I guess what happens is I enjoy the debate, so it appears combative, but it's not really. It's just so what about this?
No, I get it, and I was actually on a debate team in high school. for a Fed challenge. So I kind of get that whole debate thing. I'm just
Yeah.
I just like, oh, this is starting to feel a little bit like my Twitter. I kind of need to back off a little bit because I go a little bit
Oh,
extra on Twitter sometimes.
I apologize. I definitely did not want to make any. I definitely don't want anyone to feel like that. I enjoy the open discussions,
Okay. Yeah, no,
because it
I was just
challenges me too.
yeah, it's just my own checks and balances thing with my own self before I go into like full offensive mode or whatever,
Gotcha.
where I can people left and right, and I just get to the point where like I'm stuck in the mud and everybody's like, I feel like everybody's coming at me and stuff.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no. Definitely not here. This is definitely a safe space where we can all have. I prefer it for it to be a safe space.
Oh yeah. No, so I mean, I didn't because I didn't want to push too hard or anything on anybody. So
Listen, I think a lot of us are recovering Christians, so that's what I call myself.
yeah, and I mean, and because I use a lot of the angelic, divine, and demonic toxic terms because I mean, a lot of people understand that better and they grasp it a lot easier. So I'm not saying like that's the only term that can be used.
Yeah.
I'm not putting in definites, but however, I have a very big Christian-based past. So that Christian-based past tends to be a heavy point as far as like my belief system.
I know. It took me a while to let go of that. It took me a long time to let go of it. And interestingly enough, sometimes, and that's what you saw, that's a me thing, that sometimes when I see that, because I revert back to, okay, come on now. No. It's not that cut and dry. Let's, like my goal then is to like, no. Come on out a little bit more, because so often it never can get beyond that. Like it can never get beyond angels and demons.
Yeah, well, and I mean, because I know, like the pagan belief, it's a strict, it's strictly like shadow light, good and evil still, and like how it's not really heaven and hell. It's just you go to the other side. You either go to the side of good or you go to the side of bad. And I mean that even true too gets more just that angel demon like terminology stuck into it. So.
Right. It still doesn't quite get to that level of like neutrality. And like people freak out sometimes when I'll just be like, well, I don't tend to assign evil anymore or good. Things are what they are. And because everything has a purpose.
I know like divine and toxic do describe people a lot better.
Yes, they do.
I mean, and I know there's people who like. I mean, there is such a thing as people who are born in a more divine aspect, where these people are more positive. They give off positivity to other people, and it makes them happy. But then on the other aspect, there's also people who are born in toxicity who get happy off of doing things harmful to other people.
Right. And so that's probably much more accurate. But I've known, and I'm sure you have too, where we've known some people that like started out with a predisposition to toxicity that go through an awakening process and go through like a whole, ascension and shadow work and dark night of the soul, and then they are able to then raise their vibration to.
What?
Yeah, there you go. We're back. Okay. We're gonna be.
I hit the wrong button, just closed it all out.
That's all right. I was just saying that there are some people that, may start off with a predisposition to toxicity that are able to then transcend and, begin to walk in their divine nature more so. And some like it in their shadowlands. They're never going to come out of it because they like it. They're comfortable there.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I mean, there's some people who can because it's even with like trauma. There's some people who can heal and move past it, and there's other people who, there's like some people who they have trauma, they deal with it, and they move past it, and they heal, and they keep going. Well, there's other people who dwell in it. They live in that trauma, and they become almost dependent on it.
right. I completely agree. Yeah. Well, Tarot Guy, I didn't realize it was so late, my dear. I'm going to actually...
That's okay. I mean, I had just gotten the kids to sleep, and I just wanted to hop on real quick and just apologize for one.
Oh my gosh, there's nothing to apologize for. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing to apologize.
Yeah, because sometimes I can get really passionate about things, and I know people tend to come across because of my my nature, because of my astrology and stuff. I can come across kind of like a jerk sometimes. So I have been accused many times of having a mood when I'm not in one.
Listen, we're all good here. It's totally fine. Like, I don't care. Like, unless somebody's like super rude, it doesn't bother me, not a bit.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a healthy debate and a discussion than not.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah, because we learn then. That's how we learn. That's one thing I feel like is missing from the world these days is you can't have a healthy discussion with some people.
No, because everybody takes it in an offensive manner. Because everybody's like, oh, well, you can't say that. Well, why? Well, and I'm sorry, in my belief system, if you get offended by something, you must feel that statement is true.
Yeah. And
otherwise it wouldn't bother you. If it didn't bother you, that would mean that you don't have an issue with it. You think that statement's completely false. It's like people who sit there and get mad and say, oh, well, do you have proof that my man's cheating? Tell me that you need to tell me this was a lie or whatever. And it's like, well, if you didn't even believe that it was true at all, you wouldn't need somebody else to clear the name of the person. You just laugh it off and keep going.
Exactly. I agree. Well, all right, my dear. I'm gonna drop you down. Thank you. And then you can we'll be doing more of these. I tell everybody, you are more than welcome to come up on the panel anytime. You are more than welcome.
I will when the kids are not screaming and jumping around and everything, and I'm available to talk.
Understand, but you just know that you have an open invitation.
All right. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you so much, dear. Thank you. Have a good night.
Hey, no
Thank
problem.
you. Well, y'all, we have talked about a whole lot. I was trying to pull a conscious TV, but I can't do it tonight. It's not in the cards for me. I can't pull an all-nighter like he does. But hopefully this helped. We are gonna, I'm gonna actually, before I go to sleep, we'll meditate a little bit more. And we'll see. But I do believe that there needs to be a mass meditation, and I'll put the word out. And we'll do something here as well. And if for nothing else, then and I would start speaking this into the ethers now. I would start whatever you call it, if you pray, whatever you do. Start speaking protection over the earth realm, over humanity, and that whatever is going on there gets contained right there. And that it doesn't proliferate. Where not too much of humanity is affected. That's what I would do. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you. I'm glad you guys found it enlightening. You guys are so welcome. This was fun for me. All right, guys. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like it. If you think somebody else is going to get a little bit out of it, great. We'll probably try to chop this up a little bit tomorrow and post some of the clips tomorrow. so that it can be out there a little bit more. I'm trying to think, what am I going to do tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow's Sunday. I will be dropping a Sunday Soul podcast tomorrow. It's going to be a little earlier in the day. About 3 p.m. Central Time, I believe, is when we're planning on dropping it. Okay. So I'm trying to get. I'm showing a Coach Jackie Cote. We're gonna talk to her tomorrow. We'll drop the interview, and at least I think we're gonna do it about. Yeah, we're gonna do it at 3 p.m. so I can spend some time with Alicia. And then we'll probably be briefly live together. She has an amazing story about how she broke out of corporate America and is living her best life independently, like literally. Like her and her husband are like doing the RV thing, and she works from the RV. Like, I'm just so thrilled with her. You guys are gonna love her. I'm trying to be sure she can come with us live afterwards. Otherwise, we'll probably do a live broadcast, panel broadcast next week with her. So, yeah. Thanks for being here so late with me, guys. I really do appreciate it. Oh wait, here we go. You know, my favorite one person. Yes, absolutely. I know that I don't think that she would marry somebody that it didn't align with. So again, like, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video. I'll be putting up some clips during the day tomorrow as well. You guys be safe, have fun. We will see y'all tomorrow. I'll probably pop in on Conscious TV's live as well. He's going 10 a.m. Eastern, I think. So I'll probably pop in over there, okay? All right, guys. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys very, very much. No.